How do I compose? Well, I'll start you off with just a rough idea of all the different ways that there are, because there's lots of different ways that I've used in the past to compose different songs. It's just a matter of the way that a song comes about. So some of the songs that I've done in the past might have been a spontaneous composition to start off with. I might have just been playing the piano, start a tune, and that might become the main part of the song, and I'll go over and refine it, do stuff like that. Now, sometimes I might have a really nice chord progression that I like. Let's say it might be a D minor, to an A minor, to a C, to a G. Now I'll show you what my hands are doing later on, but so if there's lots of different chord progressions that I've actually used. There might be so many songs use the same chord progression. So don't think, oh, I've heard that chord progression before, I should use a different one, because if there's a particular chord progression that you really like and you're just starting out in composition, that's a perfect way to start it off. Start with the chord progression you like and then start with a tune. I'll be going over that in more detail. Then also there's the composition that you might do. A little tune might come into your head. You might be whistling away. One of the ones in particular, I used to whistle this tune all the time. Now, I used to whistle that all the time. Although I'm not a very good whistler, I was good enough to whistle the little tune. And then I thought, oh, it's a good little tune, maybe I should put it into a song. And I turned it into a sort of an upbeat. If you've got a particular tune that's really good, you might hum a tune rather than whistling it. There's only so many chords that will go with it, and you'll find it quite easy, if you know what you're doing, to put chords to your tune. Okay, so they're the main ways that I compose music. So one of my favourite ways to compose music is just to play the piano, play anything. I might that playing, there might be specific little parts that I think, oh, that's really nice, and then I'll go over that in more detail and try and work something out. And then once you've got particular parts that you really like, you might use some of your previous knowledge of composition and how chords work together to develop other parts to add on to it, because you might have a part that you particularly really like, but then you can't work out something off the fly to go with it. So you might think, okay, go over what you know, put a few chords that you know that will go with it, and that's something that we'll be learning as well. And yeah, I think to start out with, if you want to really start from the beginning and you haven't done much composition before, we'll start off with the simplest way of composition, which is start with a simple chord progression. Now all I'm doing is playing 4 chords. Now you can't copyright chord progressions, so anyone that's watching this, they can use that chord progression to put into their song. Now, I'm going to go over, let's go over it now. I'll teach you right from the beginning how to compose a simple song from a chord progression.